So welcome you all for Tungol Online classes. We are discussing the ray optics chapter. In that ray optics yesterday class we completed up to principle of reversibility. We started what is refraction, laws of refraction, then Snell's law, a limitation of Snell's law. Then thereafter we have seen the principle of reversibility. So today we will see two important derivations. One is lateral shift and other one is of normal shift. But remember, derivations I cannot able to give in PPT. PPT I can show the diagrams, definitions. Derivation will not be there. So derivation compulsory you have to write. So from this only, this what I have written on the board, from that only, so you have to write. So I will start the topic, that is refraction through parallel sided slab, or it is also called as lateral shift. This lateral shift represented by the symbol is LS, L suffix S. It's very important derivation. Can be asked for either 3 marks or 5 marks. In 5 marks means they will mention, so state lateral shift and obtain the expression for lateral shift. When lateral shift will occur. So what is lateral shift? Definition. Before writing the definition, I will show with the diagram. So let me consider parallel sided glass slab. One glass slab with sides are parallel. These two sides are parallel, these two. Such that the thickness of this glass slab is T. The refractive index of this glass slab, let me write mu or n, your wish. Mu is the refractive index. Now this face can I call AB? This side I will call it as AB, and this side I will call it as CD. Now let me consider one of the light ray incident on this side AB. This is my incident ray. So let me write the normal drawn to AB. Diagram carefully listen. So let us call the incident ray name is PQ. What is the incident ray name? PQ. Now what happened? So let me call this is the rarer medium or air or vacuum. Air. So refractive index value is 1. Now this is the glass slab. Refractive index value mu. No doubt this is the rarer medium and this will be the denser medium. When light traveling from rarer to denser, will it bend towards the normal or away from the normal? Towards the normal. Why it bend towards the normal? Due to decrease in the velocity. Now after bending, light came and incident on another face. Which one? Another face CD. Okay Nara? Now what happened? Once again, when it is traveling from denser, outside which medium is there? Rarer. Again light will bend or not? Will bend. So this time when light traveling from denser to rarer, it will bend away from the normal. Can I call QR is the refracted ray and RS is the emergent ray. Diagram should be clear. Consider one rectangular parallel sided glass slab of thickness T, refractive index is mu, placed in air. Allow the light ray PQ to incident at an angle of incidence is equal to I. What is the angle of incidence value? Is equal to I. And here the angle of refraction, so that value is equal to R. Now again this light ray was incident here, so this angle also will be equal to R. If we want, we can show this. because light ray was there in the same medium. So to show the principle of reversibility, when light ray path is retraces, so here angle of incidence will become r, and here angle of so incidence angle of incidence value r, and finally the angle of emergence value can I call I dash. Here only one point I consider, inside the glass slab the angle of refraction values, and this angle of refraction will become this angle of incidence. Even you can show this one with alternative angles, so this value r and this value r. If I take this value r1, this value r2, so we can show r1 value is equal to r2 by applying the Snell's law. Instead of showing directly I written so r. You can tell why I taken this value r means, so in case of this glass slab, this angle of refraction and angle of incidence, so both are same. Clear Ara? Now if this glass slab not there, this is the straight line path followed by the light ray. Actually light ray should travel like this. Now light ray was bended. So what is the perpendicular distance between the emergent ray and the direction of the incident ray? If I draw some perpendicular name is, so can I call some RT? What is RT? RT is the perpendicular distance between incident ray and emergent ray. This perpendicular distance between incident ray and emergent ray when light passing through, the perpendicular distance between incident ray and emergent ray when light passing through parallel sided glass slab known as lateral shift. Are you getting Ara? When light passing through parallel sided glass slab, what is the perpendicular distance? With what distance light ray was bent? That RT was there, na? That perpendicular distance between incident ray and emergent ray is called as lateral shift. This value R. Now we want to derive expression for RT. We want to calculate RT. So to calculate RT, you see this one. If this angle is I, this angle is R, the angle of deviation, this value will be I minus R. What about this angle value? Here I will write, which is I minus R. This one is I minus R angle. So can I call this name is N? From the triangle, here it is Q, this is R, this is T. It is a right angle triangle. So now derivation. In order to derive expression for the lateral shift, first after writing the definition, you have to draw the diagram. Diagram should be drawn right corner with the appropriate arrow marks. Then you need to explain regarding the diagram. Considering parallel sided glass slab of thickness T, refractive index is mu, and allowing a light ray and it is placed in air, allowing a light ray incident ray PQ on the face AB or on the side AB. So light ray refracted along QR and incident on CD and refracted along and emergent along RS. Okay. Now the perpendicular distance between, so the emergent ray and the direction of incident ray, so this perpendicular distance only called as lateral shift. So now first you see, first I will consider for refraction at AB. For refraction at AB. So can I apply the Snell's law? For refraction at AB, what is Snell's law? N1 into sin I is equal to N2 or into sin R. Here N1 value 1, we called mu na, better na, mu1. Mu1 into sin I, this is mu2. Mu1 value 1, so that's why 1 into sin I, mu2 value mu into sin R. Can I call equation 1? This is for, so for from Snell's law or applying Snell's law. I will write it as applying Snell's law. Okay, Nara? Similarly, so for refraction at CD. For CD, applying Snell's law. Applying which one? Snell's law. If I apply the Snell's law, so again what I will get? Now refractive index is mu2 into sin. What is the angle of incidence here? Sin R will be equal to mu1 into sin I dash. Snell's law states that the refractive index and sin angle either of incidence or refraction. For this CD, the angle of incidence value so will be equal to how much? Angle made by incident ray with the normal is R and refracted ray angle of refraction is I dash. This medium refractive index mu2 value mu2 into sin R is equal to this medium refractive index mu1 into sin I dash. So mu2 value mu into sin R is equal to mu1 value 1 into sin I dash. Can I call equation 2? So from equation 1 and 2, from equations 1 and 2, tell me what they given. Here also mu sin I, mu sin R. So I can write sin I is equal to sin I dash. From this I value is equal to I dash. What is I and what is I dash? I is the angle of incidence and I dash is the angle of emergence. When I value equal to I dash, you can see the diagram. So incident ray is parallel. This is the emergent ray. This emergent ray is parallel to the incident. Then only the I value and I dash value both are same. Even we can also prove if I call it as R1, if I call it as R2, so R1 value equal to R2. Why R1 value R2? Here what can I write? We proved that I is equal to I dash. When I is equal to I dash, we can prove R1 value also equal to R2. Are you getting RM? Whenever the angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergence, so what we can able to tell? So we can tell that incident ray and emergent ray both are parallel to each other. This part is optional. If the derivation given for 3 marks, for you no need to prove angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergence. Whenever the derivation given for 5 marks, then only you have to prove. So here space is not there, that's why I am rubbing this part. Now I will derive the expression for the lateral shift. For deriving the expression for the lateral shift, okay na? So from the triangle, which one? So QRT or Q, right angle is there at T. So which angle I am considering Q? So RQT, angle at Q, I minus R. If you want, I will draw. So this is the triangle. So this value is Q, this value is R, this value T, and this angle is I minus R. Correct? Then from this triangle RQT, what is sine I minus R? Why should I write sin I minus r? So here I want to calculate RT. RT is the opposite side. So sin I minus r, so is opposite side divided by, so hypotenuse. Opposite side value RT by, so what is the hypotenuse value? Hypotenuse value is QR. So sin I minus r is equal to RT value LS by QR. Correct or? We want to calculate the lateral shift. Lateral shift is nothing but RT. We called RT with LS. From this, the LS value is equal to Q into R into sin I minus R. Sin I minus R. So to calculate a QR value, what is QR? QR is the distance travelled by the light ray, so inside the glass slab. This distance is also called as optical path. So what is the meaning of optical path? The distance travelled by the light inside the glass slab. To calculate that distance from the triangle, which one I will consider? So NQR. NQR. When I consider the triangle NQR, so NQR also right angle triangle na? So in this triangle, this is the value of N, this is the value of Q, this is the value of R, and this angle is equal to R. This angle is R. From this, what is the value of cos R? Cos R is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side value QR by hypotenuse value QN. The value of Qn is exactly equal to T. Qn value is equal to T, thickness of the glass slab. Therefore, cos R is equal to QR divided by T. From this, QR is equal to, so QR value is equal to, what is the value I got? QR. So QR divided by Qn. Then I calculated the value of, here I did the hypotenuse value, cos R na. So what is the value of cos R? Adjacent side value will be, this will be hypotenuse. So here I had to write Qn. Qn by QR. Qn value, that is cos R. Qn value T divided by QR. So from this, QR value is equal to, QR is equal to T divided by cos R. So QR is called as distance travelled by the light inside the glass slab. Whenever they give an angle of refraction and thickness of the slab, what is the distance travelled by the light inside the slab given by QR? QR is equal to T by cos R. So can I call it as equation 1 or otherwise? Now substituting QR in LS, in the formula for LS. So finally what I will get LS. So what is the value of LS I will get? The value of LS is equal to T into sin I minus R divided by which one? Cos R. T into sin I minus R divided by cos R. That is the expression for the lateral shift. What is lateral shift expression? LS is equal to T into sin I minus R divided by which one? Cos R. Are you getting R? So that is the expression for which one? Lateral shift. Finally, can I write? So lateral shift LS is equal to, so T into sin I minus R divided by cos R. This is the expression for the lateral shift. On what factors the lateral shift value depends? So lateral shift value depends upon which one? So thickness of the slab. Thickness of the slab. It depends upon the angle of incidence. It depends upon the angle of incidence. Okay, Nara? So these are the two factors on which the lateral shift value depends upon. Okay, derivation is very, very important. What is lateral shift means? The perpendicular distance between the incident ray and emergent ray when light passing through parallel sided glass slab. Even in this lateral shift also, even this point also very important for us. What is the distance travelled by the light in a glass slab? So that is given by QR. This is also called as optical path. This distance name is called as optical path. If T is the distance travelled by the light in air, the distance travelled by the light in the glass slab is given by the formula T by cos R. Okay, Nara? What is the maximum lateral shift the light ray can obtain? So maximum value will be given by what? So whenever, if I value, R value, and one more here is, if sin I minus R value approximately equal to 1, then lateral shift maximum value will be equal to T. Here, so this is the derivation we want to discuss. Understood now? I am not showing any PPT for the lateral shift. You have to note down the lateral shift only from this class notes on, because in PPTs derivations will not be there, only the definitions. If you want, the diagrams will be there. Okay, Nara? Lateral shift understood? So next, after completion of the lateral shift, in this class only we will discuss one more important phenomena which is based on the refraction. So that is of normal shift. These two are very, very important even for doing objective also. So what is normal shift? So obtain the expression or derive expression for normal shift. Normal shift. So normal shift NS. Normal shift. Okay, even this is also important derivation for 5 marks. What is normal shift? Even normal shift, two cases will be there, but any one case is not enough. If object is placed in denser medium and viewed normally through a rarer medium. In this case, we want to derive expression for the normal shift. The question, even this also, can be asked for either 3 marks or either 5 marks. Here the condition also mentioned, you want to obtain the expression for the normal shift when object is placed in denser medium and viewed normally through the rarer medium. So first I want to define what is normal shift. To tell the definition, I will show with the diagram only. What is normal shift? So let me consider a glass slab. Here also I am considering one glass slab. So let us suppose this glass slab thickness is T. This thickness only called as, so this is the thickness of the glass slab. And this glass slab refractive index is mu. So let us consider a object is placed, object is O, at the bottom of the slab. When object is placed at the bottom of the slab, so what is the real depth? So if you see from the top, what is the real depth of the object? That real depth value is given by the real depth of the object is T. Can I call now this object is viewed normally. Now if I call this glass slab was placed in, so air, this is rarer, this is denser medium. Object placed in rarer medium viewed normally through which medium? Denser medium. Viewed normally through which medium? Denser medium. Are you getting or? Now I want to derive expression for the normal shift. So person is watching, so from here, this is the view. In order to watch any object, the thing is, so light rays from the object after reflection, so it should incident on our eyes. So many light rays will come from this object. If they reaches to our eyes, then only we can identify this object. So I cannot consider all the light rays. Here also I will make the conclusion for the 3 light rays. So one of the light ray which incident along the normal. Now this is the light ray which was incident along the normal. Whenever a light ray incident along the normal, you know that. So light ray will travel without any bending. I value, R value equal to 0. So let me consider one more light ray was incident here and one more light ray was incident here. This is one incident ray, this is one incident. In this case the light ray traveling from which medium to which medium? So denser to rarer. Due to that reason the light ray will bend away from the normal. Here also light ray traveling from denser to rarer. It will bend from away from the normal. So there are totally 3 refracted rays are there. This is refracted ray 1, this is refracted ray 2 and this is refracted ray 3. But the 3 rays will never converge. The 3 light rays will never converge. Will is possible is there for these 3 rays to meet at a point? No. So they will never converge. They appear to be diverged. So these 3 rays are appearing to be diverged, coming from a single point. That point where you will get the image I. For the viewer who is viewing in the rarer medium, so though object was there at O, object will appear at I. So object is there O, so what happened to the position will be shifted to where I. That apparent shift in the apparent shift in the position of the object, placed in one medium viewed normally through another medium. Viewed normally through another medium. This shift is called as normal shift. Since I am not giving the PPT, here only I am writing clearly with the diagram. So what is normal shift? In the diagram it is cleared. Object was there at O. When viewed normally through rarer medium, object appears at I. What is the shift of the object from O to I? That is only called as normal shift. So normal shift is the apparent. In reality, object originally it will not go from O to I. It appears to be shift. The apparent shift in the position of the object placed in one medium viewed normally through another medium. So that shift is called as normal shift. Are you getting around? So now we want to derive the expression. So derivation for normal shift. So you can see, so what is the real depth value here? Can I call this point on the surface is A and this point is B. So real depth value will be given by OA, that OA value is equal to T. And what is the apparent depth value? Can I call AD? So AD value will be given by what? Apparent depth value AI. Dakera? Apparent depth value AI. So in this derivation, if I want to calculate the normal shift, so normal shift is nothing but OI. Can I write the OI? Can be written as OA minus AI. Can I write? If I want to calculate OI, OA minus AI will give you OI. So this normal shift is equal to OA nothing but real depth, AI nothing but apparent depth. So normal shift, when object is placed in denser medium viewed normally through the rarer medium, then the normal shift is equal to real depth minus apparent depth. Which one? Real depth minus apparent depth. Are you getting Ara? So what is the real depth value? Already t. I want to calculate the apparent depth. If I substitute here, I will get the answer. Okay, Nara? So to calculate this apparent depth value, now let us suppose this is my incident ray, angle made by incident ray with the normal. Can I call this angle is angle of incidence I? And this is my refracted ray. This is actually refracted ray. Angle made by refracted ray with the normal. Can I call R? Okay. Now considering the triangle. So which triangle? AOB. So from which triangle? From the triangle AOB. AOB is a right angle triangle. AOB. What is the angle at O? That is I. From this AOB. So what is the value of sin I? Sin I value is equal to opposite side AB divided by hypotenuse. So what is hypotenuse value? OB. Can I write? Are you getting? If you want, I will draw the right angle triangle here. So this is my right angle triangle. So this is the value of A, this is the value of B, this is the value of O, this value is I. I written sin I. Okay, Nara? Similarly, from the triangle, so I will put it separation. So from the triangle, next one is AIB. Even AIB also right angle triangle. AIB. Angle is R. So from this right angle triangle, AIB. Angle at I is R. What is the value of sin I? Sin R. Sin R is equal to AB divided by BI. AB divided by BI. Okay, Nara? So this is equation 1. This one can I write equation 2? So from or dividing equation 1 with equation 2, what I will get? Sin I divided by sin R will be equal to AB by OB divided by AB by BI. AB cancel, then what can I write? Sin I divided by sin R will be equal to BI divided by OB. So if I consider B is very close to A, when B is very close to A, when light rays are incident, when I value, R value are very small. If I and R are small, then so distance measured from O to B, when B close to A, OB approximately equal to OA and BI approximately equal to AA. So what can I write? If I and R are very small, then OB is approximately equal to OA and BI is approximately equal to AA. This assumption is must and should. When angle of incidence and angle of refraction, I value, R value are very small. When I value, R value very small, B very close to A, then the distance measured from O to B is very close to O to E. The distance measured from I to B is very close to A to I. Can I write down? If I substitute this, what I will get? Sin I divided by sin R is equal to BI can be written as AI and OB can be written as OE. OB can be written as OE. But according to Snell's law, directly I can write when light traveling from denser to rarer here. So applying Snell's law. Applying which law? Snell's law. By applying Snell's law, so what can I write? According to Snell's law, so what I will get here? N into or refractive index of the slab is mu into sin I is equal to 1 into sin R. From this, mu is sin I divided by sin R is equal to 1 by mu. Sir, how, sir? Here angle of refraction is there. Actually, this is also angle of refraction. I consider light ray, so I extended this ray When this is angle of refracted ray, this is also refracted ray. If this angle is r, this is also equal to r. So that's why incident ray was there in denser medium of refractive index mu, and refracted ray was there in rarer medium of refractive index 1. Then what can I write? Mu into sin I, the refractive index and sin angle of incidence, is equal to 1 into sin r. From this, sin I by sin r is equal to 1 by mu. Till now understood? Diagram is very important. For the diagram 1 mark, and diagram with compulsory arrow marks are needed. In diagram everything you should get it clearly. Now I can write so that side I cannot able to write, so I am rubbing here only, this part only in this derivation. So what I got the value? I got the value, so mu is equal to, that is sin I by sin r. Can I call it as equation 3? Can I call it as equation 4? So from which equations? From equations, so 3 and 4. What can I write? Sin I by sin r is equal to 1 by mu. 1 by mu is equal to ai divided by OA. So this, from this ai value nothing but apparent depth, OA nothing but real depth. Therefore mu is equal to real depth divided by apparent depth. Even you can calculate the refractive index by knowing the real depth and apparent depth. Which is real depth here? OA. Which is apparent depth here? AI. So what is the relation between them? When object is placed in denser medium viewed normally through the rarer medium, refractive index is equal to real depth divided by apparent depth. Refractive index value is equal to real depth divided by apparent depth. So now from this, what is apparent depth is equal to? What is the value of apparent depth is equal to? Apparent depth value is equal to real depth divided by mu. What is the formula for normal shift? Normal shift is equal to real depth minus apparent depth. Correct? So here real depth value is equal to t by mu. So therefore normal shift is equal to real depth value t minus t divided by mu. From this, normal shift is equal to t into 1 minus 1 by mu. So this is the expression for normal shift. Now you tell me, when object is placed in denser medium viewed normally through rarer medium, the object will appear, so nearer or far apart? Nearer. So how much distance it will appear? Nearer. That is only will give you normal shift. So normal shift value depends upon the thickness of the glass slab, and it depends upon the refractive index. So normal shift is equal to t into 1 minus 1 by mu. Are you getting a derivation understood? So this is the case when object is placed in denser medium viewed normally through rarer medium. The example for this case, you put a coin in a water can. You take one small bowl of water and put a coin in that water. See from the outside how coin will appear. It will appear nearer than actual position. If you put there, but actually there coin will not be there. That is because of the refraction of light. Understood, Ara? So that's it for this refraction or expression for the normal shift. Two derivations are very important derivations. Write down the notes properly, whatever the derivations are there. So practice immediately after the class. If any doubts are there regarding the derivation, you can ask in group. Okay na? So thank you. We'll continue tomorrow.